Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Podcast. Today is Wednesday, August 16th, 2023. Glad to have everybody listening from all around the world, parts of Scotland, Ireland. You've heard us talk about you before. We know you're out there listening, and so many other people in the United States. We appreciate you all. With us today from the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business panel, we have Miss Lisa Lawson. Good morning, Lisa.
Good morning, everybody.
And Mr. Harvey Freed, host of the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Show, heard every Saturday morning from 9 to 10 on 97.1 FM. Hi, Harv.
Good morning, panel.
Also joining us, special guest, old friend, been around a long time, Derek Bauer, Real Estate One. Good morning, Derek.
Good morning, Harry. Thanks for having me in.
You're the man. I appreciate it. It's been a minute, so let's just jump right into a lot of general discussion today, Derek. You know, a lot of things going on in the market. It's a very fluid market. The market is crazy right now. Lots of information out there. Everybody talking about home prices. Are they going up? Are they going down? Are they staying the same? They can only do one of three things, right? But everybody's talking about a little flux in the market. As you know, a lot of interest rate talk right now. A lot of interest rate talk. So many things going on in the market, Derek. Lots of noise. What's going on in your world?
So our world, we closed sales and pendings are both down between 15 and 20% this year. But in my market, which is the west suburbs, kind of on the fringe of Livingston County, South Lyon area, in the last 30 days, about 65% of our closings have been above asking price. So we're still seeing multiple offers, but not quite at the pace that we did, 15 or so months ago. And of those 65% that closed above asking, the average was about 4.5% over asking price. And again, 15 months ago, we would have been saying more like 10%. So still a lot of demand for that limited quality inventory. And people are paying a little bit less. You're probably, you can speak to it better than I probably. You're probably seeing how many buyers have been sidelined, because of 7% interest rates. So the competition is less, but the demand is still substantial.
Yeah, I agree with all that, Derek. And what we're seeing is exactly what you're saying. Yes, limited inventory, supply and demand. And there are multiple offers, and they're going either at or above asking, as you said. But you know what I found out that's very, very interesting, Derek? The buyers that you're working with have been in the market for a long time. They haven't quit the market. They're still out there. They're going because, and we've talked to many people over the last month because we believe there's a late summer surge, Derek, going on. The people that have stuck it out, that have looked at 10, 12, 20 homes and have put in 15 offers and finally got one accepted, they're extremely happy that they didn't quit because, Derek, to get back in it, it's very difficult, isn't it?
Totally agree with you. Absolutely. Yep.
We appreciate that. Also, Lisa Lawson, we've got Lisa. She is the Google Derek of our office. A lot of conflicting information out there. First of all, people are saying the market is down, but new construction home sales are up. People are saying that the suburbs of Detroit are down, but Detroit is up. People are saying that buyers are quitting on the market, but we're finding buyers are out in full force. Lisa, tell me what's been going on in your world.
Yeah, definitely. I think because of the shortage, people feel like they can't find a home. So I do believe, obviously new construction is up for that reason. When you have a shortage and people have made multiple offers and they don't get them accepted, sometimes they're like, you know what, we're going to build. So, definitely new construction is up. Where I'm at, and I'm in Macomb County, new construction is hot. It always has been. Macomb County's always been hot. So I definitely think that's the case. And in regards to the city of Detroit, I think they're having a renaissance. There's a lot of programs for first-time homebuyers in the city of Detroit. One, if you're a resident of Detroit and you've been there for the past 12 months, you can get $25,000 in down payment assistance if you qualify. So, I've got a few of those going on right now. I know a lot of people are looking to move back to the city, so I think that's the case. But we're still in a shortage. There's not enough inventory to go around. So you have to be patient. You have to get creative and find the right program that fits your needs.
Yeah, hey, Harvey Freed, lots of noise about home prices right now. And as Lisa said, inventory is down. We say it can only do one of three things, up, down, stay the same. But we know that there is a limited amount of inventory. And you want to hear a staggering statistic, Harvey? About 10% of the market of the listings right now are over $1 million. What does that tell you where prices of homes are going to go? What does that tell you, Harv?
Yeah, it tells you that prices are definitely on the rise here. The lack of inventory has really sidelined a lot of the builders also. But we saw the building index, I think, came out earlier today, and it was about what they predicted. The West Coast was a little bit slower. Here in the Midwest, we do see single family. They said permits were up just a smidge, but there's a lot of multiple units. So the single family housing that we're hoping that we would be able to add 1.5 million homes is really slow entering the marketplace. This is going to continuously be a problem over the next year or two. We don't see any quick change. There's no quick fix. But maybe that higher interest rate is sidelined, as Derek mentioned, has sidelined a lot of the buyers out there. But we strongly urge that you get into the marketplace, as we spoke over the last couple of years. If home prices aren't going down, you're buying at today's market. If the home price continues to go up, you can always refinance that mortgage and maybe save some money down the road. But Derek, you mentioned 7%. We're starting to creep up a little bit towards 7.5 lately. Again, we're always, when we use General's conversation, we're usually talking about no discount point. But
yeah,
yes.
Hey, Derek, we're talking about this. We're talking about, I've never heard Jerome Powell in an economic forecast use the word smidge, but that's a good one. We're going to go with that, right? Interest rates are up a smidge. Okay, good. We're going to stick with that, Derek. Also, let me ask you this question. You've been doing this a while. My take on all the realtor partners that Lisa, Harvey, myself, everybody in the office are working with, realtors are working harder now than ever. And I'm going to put a caveat. Successful realtors are working harder now than ever, right? You and I talk. We're not playing a lot of golf, right? Because we're working harder. So, I mean, that's what's really going on right now, right? I mean, everybody who's in it is working a lot harder, correct?
Yeah, I mean, no doubt about it. The tens of thousands of agents have gotten out of the business this year, but there's still such a small piece to go around. You know, it's interesting. I saw a statistic the other day. Last year, Zillow sold 145 million leads to agents. There were 5.6 million closings in the country last year. You know, do that math. It's so diluted. And what I like is when a consumer comes to me and they're educated, they know that it's more than just getting online and seeing what's for sale. You know, what are offer strategies? What do we need to know? I looked at a house with some clients this weekend, and we walked around and I said, this house needs $50,000 of work just on the outside. I just want you to know, I want you to be happy with what we do. We put in an offer. We took that somewhat into account. Somebody paid much more than us, but my folks were happy. They made an educated decision. You know, so I think education is key. People using, you know, their heads along with their hearts. If you just use one or the other, that can be a little bit of a challenge.
Yeah, I agree with that. And it's funny you mentioned the Zillow statistics on people buying leads. I say, and this is just a Harry Gland's opinion, it's not designed for everybody else to believe it or not. I'm not a big believer in that, but it is my opinion that you and I, realtors and mortgage lenders, are two of the most desperate species on the face of the earth. They think manna from heaven is just going to drop, that they're buying leads, they're checking things out, they're going here, they're going there. You know what you got to do, Derek? It's just good old-fashioned nose to the grindstone and hard work and relationships. Buying leads. I mean, if I had, here, I'll make you this deal. If I had $1 for every realtor and loan officer that asked me to buy them leads, I wouldn't be doing this podcast right now. I don't even like beaches. I'd be on a beach somewhere, but that's another discussion for another day. Let's talk about this, Derek. Best investment. And there's a statistic that came out that buyers right now, a first-time home buyer, average age is 34, which means 27 to 41, the average age. It's a huge millennial tranche. Tranche is an economic word in the vocabulary, by the way, tranche. Not smidge, tranche, though. 34 years old for your average home buyer. What does that mean? It's always been the best investment somebody could make, age 34, 35 and up, is buying a house. Paying rent is insane for a long period of time, Derek.
I concur.
All right, there you go. All right, Lisa Lawson, let's get on the rent scale. We talked about paying rent, and we've talked about it many times on the show and on the podcast. With home prices continuously going up, with inventory being what it is, right now, if people are on the sidelines waiting, they're actually losing money. Right, Lisa?
I think most people would think that, yes. You're not investing in yourself. You're not building equity in your future. So you're paying somebody else's mortgage. I made this comparison on the show this past weekend, the radio show, is that we have no problem. Like, we think it's socially normal to pay rent. You're paying somebody else's mortgage, but you wouldn't pay somebody else's car payment for them to drive their car. So I just don't understand the mentality. And I get it. Sometimes it's a necessity. And you might be somebody that moves every year and don't want to settle roots, or you have a type of job that keeps you on the go. But, there's something about generational wealth, and it says it always starts with real estate, which means buy your own home, invest in yourself. I think it's pretty plain and simple.
Can I piggyback?
Sure,
Derek.
Go ahead, Derek. Go ahead.
To both of your points, the Michigan legislature just passed a first-time home buyer savings account program at firsthomemichigan.com. So, the average sales price for our 5-county region is in the 340s right now. Out where I am, it's 520. Well, that pushes a lot of people out of the market. But for people who maybe might be sidelined right now, taking a look at, working with you guys, getting a strategy, but then also perhaps looking into this where yourself, your parents, your grandparents can deduct off of your Michigan taxes, up to $10,000 a year while you're saving to get in a better position. Part of a good strategy that I know you guys are educating your clients on, but this is relatively new, and I don't think a lot of people are aware of it yet.
Yeah, well, the moral of the story, Derek, and going to Harvey, the moral of the story is stay the course, stay focused. Buyers need a strong lender. They need a strong realtor partner, because we'll do all the work up front. So by the time it gets to you, the realtor, and Harvey will attest to this, the work is already done. The transaction is academic. It's a plug and play from that point on. You get us a purchase agreement, it's almost done, right, Harvey?
Yeah, I like the olden days too, Harry. The clients would call us up and we'd start the educational process right there. So the loan officers and real estate agents play a crucial role in the home buying process. And we used to send these approved buyers who are now educated, and we get them out there in front of Derek and all the great agents out there. But the communication is so key, as Derek mentioned before. He was talking with his clients about maximum purchase price and the funds to close, and in his knowledge of the housing out there and what it's going to cost to make the house the way they wanted. None of this awesome plan that Derek's buyers were working with has to do with clicking a button. And we just heard that statistics, clicking a button gets most people in trouble. And we've recognized that the families that click buttons and those buyers over the last couple of years are less educated than the true buyers out there that sat down with their finance team, their lenders, and their great real estate agents and really bought the right house and felt confident that they made those right decisions. Derek, that fact that you were in that house with them, really giving them that great advice, that's worth so much more than clicking buttons and dealing with strangers on Zillow.
Thank you. Yeah, I agree. I think education's key. So yeah, I thank you. I agree with you.
Yeah, this is the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Podcast, brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding, powered by Fairway Independent Mortgage Corporation, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS number 2289. That's for all our compliance and legal team that listen and monitor, and for everybody out there to make sure that we're doing things the right way. Also, we are big movie buffs around here, but I'm not so sure that I agree with Michael Burry. If you remember the movie The Big Short, Michael Burry was the guy that predicted the housing market was going to turn around, specifically that subprime mortgages were going to go in the dumper. He bet it. It's called The Big Short. Go watch the movie. It's probably 50% true. Also, Warren Buffett and Michael Burry are predicting, Derek, that we are going to go into a recession. Now, I'm not buying it, but maybe that's why I'm not betting against it. I just never bet against myself or my industry, Derek. Maybe segments, maybe all the billions of dollars that they have invested, they're betting on a certain segment to be in a recession. But what I am saying to everybody out there, there's going to be a shortage of homes. Supply and demand, prices are going to go up. Even if interest rates go up a little bit more and then start to head down, that doesn't mean there's going to be more homes to buy. And with the average age, again, it's just math, the average age of a first-time home buyer being 34, meaning 27 to 41-year-olds are looking in the market to buy, and there are so many millions of millennials out there looking to buy. Derek, I just can't see mathematically how the housing market is going to go into a recession specifically.
Couldn't agree with you more. Yeah, I saw Michael, he bet like 1.6 billion on this yesterday, which was pretty mind-blowing, but we foresee an inventory shortage for years to come. I mean, until baby boomers start putting their houses on the market in mass, because builders are not going to be able to catch up in the next few years. An inventory shortage, just by definition, is going to keep values stable. Perhaps not increasing, but we're not going to see a fall. I don't, mathematically, it's not possible.
I agree with you. Mathematically, it seems impossible. We're going to go to last words. We're going to start with Lisa, go to Harvey, and then Derek, you'll give us the last words for the day. Lisa Lawson.
Well, I always tell people the right time is the right time when it's right for you. You know what I mean? Just because all these people who are listening to all these experts and didn't do this 4 years ago, didn't do it 3 years ago, kicking themselves. They didn't do it 4 years ago and they didn't do it 3 years ago, and et cetera. So yes, the rates might be a little higher than they were, but historically they are not high. And if you don't get in the game now, when are you going to get in it? Never. You can be renters for the rest of your life. I feel like so many people are having a hard time overcoming that fear. It's not the easiest process, especially right now, because there is a housing shortage. But, working with educated professionals like all of us here, like Derek, like myself, like Harvey, like Becky, like John, we can help you step by step. And with a little bit of patience, we can definitely get you the outcome you need. You just got to start.
I love that, Lisa Lawson. Sage advice. Harvey Freed.
My last words, don't be mediocre. Don't have a mediocre, just an average real estate agent or lender. Get you some great people that will really benefit you, and share this education, the understanding of the neighborhoods, the schools, the amenities, the local assets, access to lakes or golf courses, restaurants, libraries, road projects that might be coming up. Hey, you're buying out there towards Derek's way a little bit. They might be putting in that new Meijer or Walmart right behind your house or your subdivision. Again, get with the educated people and the above average people. Experience does matter.
Yep, we're joined here with Derek Bauer, Real Estate One. Derek Bauer's been an old friend. He's been on the podcast, been on the show. Actually, 97.1 FM Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Show, heard every Saturday morning. Derek Bauer, great realtor, great friend. Derek, last words of the day.
I'm first of all, thanks for having me. I always love spending time with you guys. Just to piggyback on what Lisa and Harvey said, the buyers that are sitting there just saying, I'm going to wait to buy when rates come down. I think they're going to be in for a rude awakening in the coming months and years, because as soon as rates do adjust positively, all it's going to do is increase demand further, and people are going to pay a higher price for the house. So, and Lisa, you said it perfectly when you said, don't try to perfectly time the purchase of a house for financial reasons. You don't stop contributing to your 401k just because the stock market's at an all-time high. So make decisions for you and your family that make sense. Don't try to do it, just from rates are going to go down or prices are going to go down or that kind of thing, because I've seen a lot of people be very disappointed over the last 20 years by taking that approach.
Well said, Derek. Well said. And I'll bet you that if all of us had a conversation with Michael Burry or Warren Buffett, and those guys are used to making money, and I pose this question to them. Listen, would people that wait make money or lose money by waiting? Because they've already paid another year or two in rent. They've paid a higher price for a house, and interest rates have gone up. And you know what they would tell me? Pretty smart, Harry. Pretty smart. Don't wait. But again, as Lisa says, this is a very personal decision. It's only right when it's right for you, everybody out there. So that's why you go to a team. You go to Derek Bauer. He'll check out all the houses for you, but you got to get pre-approved. We're not talking pre-qualified. Capital Mortgage Funding, 1-800-LOW rate will get you pre-approved, underwritten, approved, bona fide mortgage approval. So when Derek finds you a house, you're good to go. So anyways, for Roberto Beauchene, he's in the booth. He's our director and producer. This has been the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Podcast, Wednesday, August 16th. I'd like to thank our special guest star. Guest star it is, Derek Bauer, Real Estate One. Like to thank our panel, Lisa Lawson. Like to thank Harvey Freed. He is never mediocre. He might be mediocre, but he's never mediocre, everybody. We'll see you soon.
Thanks, guys.